I not only voted against that war, I helped lead the opposition to that war. Secretary Clinton, she was then in the Senate, I was in the House. She heard the same evidence that I did. She voted for that war. And then interestingly enough, a few months ago in a debate that we had, she mentioned with pride that she was praised for her work as Secretary of State by Henry Kissinger. Well, in my view, Henry Kissinger was one of the most destructive secretaries of state in the history of this country. And I surely would not welcome his praise. Another issue out there where there are very profound differences between the Secretary and myself. One of the looming crises facing our country and the world is whether or not we are going to have enough clean water. I believe that it is insane to be poisoning the water in our country and in countries throughout the world through fracking. And that is why, if elected president, I will move to a national ban on fracking. Secretary Clinton's position is different, and interestingly enough, as Secretary of State, she actually aggressively pushed fracking in countries all over the world. Right now, in this city, my state of Vermont, all over this country, there are millions of senior citizens and disabled veterans and people with disabilities who are trying to make it on $11,000, $12,000 a year Social Security. And you know and I know that no one can make it on $11,000, $12,000 a year. You can't pay for your medicine, you can't pay to heat your apartment, you can't pay for your health care, you can't pay for your food, not on $11,000, $12,000 a year. My Republican colleagues in the Senate, they've got a brilliant idea in response to this crisis. They want to cut Social Security. Well, I got some bad news for them. We're not going to cut Social Security. We're going to expand Social Security. I introduced legislation, and we'll fight for that as president, which does the following. Right now, you have the absurdly unfair situation where somebody makes $5 million a year, somebody makes $118,000 a year. They both contribute the same amount into the Social Security Trust Fund. That's wrong. At a time of massive income and wealth inequality, what we've got to do is lift the cap. You start off at $250,000 and above, and if you do that, you can significantly expand benefits for people making $16,000 or less and extend the life of Social Security for 58 years. Now that's what I believe. That's what I think is the right thing to do, because you don't turn your back on the people who built this country, on elderly people who are hurting and vulnerable. It's the right thing to do, because a great country is remembered not by how many millionaires and billionaires it has, not by how many nuclear weapons it has, but by how it treats the weakest and most vulnerable among us. Now that is what I believe. I have challenged Secretary Clinton time and time again. Are you prepared to expand Social Security benefits and lift the cap and demand that the wealthiest people in this country contribute more to Social Security? I am still waiting for her response.